Hey guys, it's Ben with Myers Woodshop, and today we're going to be checking out the DEWALT Cordless Air Inflator. I've done a video a while back about this Ryobi air inflator. It's just a tiny, I don't know, like $20, $30 job, and a lot of people seem to like it. It has worked really well. I haven't burned up the motor yet, and I've filled many car tires and other things with it. But I just got in the DEWALT one. I want to check this out and compare it to this one, see if it's any better. A lot of my shop has a lot of DEWALT things. I have a whole lot more batteries for DEWALT. So let's open this thing up, check out what's inside, and see how good it is. And then we'll do a little comparison versus this Ryobi. So everything is basically an all-in-one piece. There's no extra pieces on this thing. It just comes in a bag. Here it is. So you get the unit itself, the instructions, and that's it. So a closer look, you can kind of see what all is built into it. Okay, so here is what we have. On this side, we have the power cord that comes out. It does have a separate kind of power cord and a car charger. So you're not plugging any old power plug into this. It is this one. So you are only able to plug into a car. There is no wall outlet on here. This side is where you would plug it into a car or the needle. And this side here, you take off this hose. And that one was the holder, just as the inflator. So we have an input of the air up here, and then you can see that symbol of the blowing. That's the output. This nozzle has a certain connection where when you stick it in and you twist, it will lock into place. Also, the end of the nozzle has this extra piece that you can plug in, and it makes the nozzle even smaller. This would be for inflating like inflatable beds or pool toys or something like that. So on the back, there is nothing. It's just the DCC020I, and we're going to plug in a 5 amp 20 volts and see how it sits with that. So the 5 amp or anything smaller of this size will sit, and it will still mainly rest on the feet, and it'll be very secure. However, if you switch that out, and let's say you get the 9 amp flex volt battery, which this will work with, and you plug it in, you can see it is fully sitting on the battery, and it could wobble. So we're going to plug in the 5 amp. And on the front, we have a power button. So we'll hit the power button, and you can see it lights up. So right now, it has two modes. It has tire mode and blower mode. So if I hit blower mode, you can see it changed to that symbol of air blowing. And if I hit it again, we're now at PSI. This knob right here will select what PSI we want to go to. So you can see I'm at 6 right now. And if you're doing a car tire or something, you maybe want to do like 35 or so. And when I hit play, it'll start pumping out the air out of this nozzle on this side, which would be connected to your car, like so. And it's not that loud. It doesn't vibrate very much. I can hit the pause button and stop it. It doesn't vibrate very much. It's not very loud, and it was operating very well. Now if I switch it over to this side and I push play, I'm getting air pumping out of here, and if I take it off, you can hear the difference with the air. So you have your blower on this side. Neither side will work at the same time. You're going to be selecting that. So up here we have a light, looks like a headlight switch. If I push that, you can see up here it has a light, and if I push it again, it turns off. So that's a really nice feature. Now comparing this to the Ryobi that I did earlier, this is more expensive. This is about $99 bare tool without a battery or charger, and this is about $30, I believe now. So the Ryobi does have these tools that this one has as well. You can see it's got the needle and some other adapters. The Ryobi also has them stored down here. However, the Ryobi, one of its downfalls is the switch. When I push and use this, I have to push and hold it. There is no catch. And this one, I just hit the power button and it's hands-free. This is super annoying when you spend 5, 10, 15 minutes pumping up a car tire forever. One trick I did was put a rubber band or a clip of some kind, like a chip clip, to hold it down. You're typically more used to this kind of knob when you're connecting things. I do like that it's a quick connect. That's a downfall a little bit on this one, is that you have to screw it in. However, you know it's secure, as opposed to it possibly could come out of the Ryobi. Also, the Ryobi has an analog air gauge, and the DEWALT has a digital one. Now, if we trust digital, then we love digital, and analog we have to be looking at. No light on the Ryobi, a light on the DEWALT. They're about, I don't know, this is about 3 pounds, this is about 5, 7 pounds. They're still very light. This has a handle to make it easier to carry. This one does not. You do get the power adapter. If you keep this in a car, it's perfect. You don't need a battery. The only way that the Ryobi is turning on is with one of their weird shaped batteries. So I got some balls from the outside and I'm gonna inflate them. I'm just gonna test it out. So I take off the little nozzle and I screw it on to here. And once it's screwed on, this soccer ball is pretty much filled, but we'll just top it off. If I can find the hole. There it is. The only problem with the soccer balls is we don't know how much we're going to fill it up. So when we turn on the machine, we don't know how high to turn the PSI. So I'm just going to turn it to 3 and hit play. And I'm just going to feel it as it goes, and then I'll hit stop when I think it's at the right speed. So I'll squeeze it in so you can kind of see. You can see over here, when I squeeze it, it's the air coming back out. So I got 3 pounds that is empty. So I'll push play. And we hit 3. We're already at 3.5. So it tells you how much air is in here. So let's turn it up to 4. And you can see the nozzle turn, so it's going to pump a little bit to fill it up to 4. And we're at 4.3, and that was super quick. It's still a little bit full, so let's 4.5. And that's pretty much full for the soccer ball. That was really fast. All right, the next one is the basketball, and this thing, I think it has a hole in it, but we're gonna inflate it anyways. So let's stick it in. And we know we're going to probably be past 4.5 on the basketball, but we'll start there. And it cut off. And actually 4.5 is pretty close. You can see we're at 3.9, 3.8. We're losing air as it goes. But how fast it pumps is really fast. This is really powerful, as opposed to the Ryobi, which that would have taken me about 20 minutes. So now the real test is taking this outside and doing it in a car tire. Okay, I'm out of my truck and we're just gonna fill up my truck tire. So you really just take the truck and you screw it on to your truck tire, like so. And it says 30 pounds in the front. That may be over that, I don't know. So we're gonna turn it on. And it reads out how many pounds we have. I actually have 42.1 pounds in the front tire of my truck. So let's say we wanna crank it up to $42.5. We'll just hit start. The digital readout shows you at what percent we're at. We're at 42.3, 4, 5. It shut off a little before it actually hit it, but we're at 42.7 on this tire. So that was really nice. It was really fast as well. So let's go around and see if any of the other tires need any air. So I'm at my other front tire. It's at 41, so I'm just gonna crank it to 42.5 and go around and do them all that way. And it ended at 42.8. So it overfills just a tad to make up for how much you're gonna lose when you take off this from your car. We're already at 43.6, so we're not gonna fill this one at all. If we do hit the play button, it does not decrease what's in there. So play will not take it down to what your PSI rating is, what you want. And this one's at 42.1. So we'll go to 42.5. And we end up at 42.9. All right, I'm down at the spare, and the spare is at 23.7. So we're gonna crank it up to 33. What the side of the door says to put it on a cold tire, and we're gonna hit play. We'll get a good view of how long this really takes to pump in 10 pounds of PSI. We just hit 33.4. It took about 3 minutes or so, and if you were on the Ryobi, you'd be holding it for 3 minutes, holding that trigger down, and it would probably take longer than 3 minutes, probably double the time to pump it out. So that was pretty quick. So that's its use. The final thing we're gonna pump is my son's bicycle tires. So I did leave the pump on after I did the last car tire, the spare, and the pump auto turns off. So I have to turn it back on. So it is down just a smidge. You could see there's a little bit of needing air, but very, very little. All right, and it says inflate to 40 PSI, but right now that's in there is 10. So I'm gonna just crank it up to maybe 12, because I don't think it needs that much. So let's hit start. And that was pretty good. Let's do 14. Not enough. 16. All right, 18. We're doing 20. That's pretty good. So I am a little worried a lot of times when we're just pumping up just a teeny bit, because if you over pump it, it'll explode the tube inside. So I like to be conservative when I'm doing it with this. So we'll do one more tire and then I'll show off the light. And that's it. All right, so I am in the bathroom and the lights are off. So hopefully this will come across, but I have the machine on right here. It is pitch black. So if I push the light button right here, it has now illuminated the room. So you can kind of see there's the light and there's the room. There I am, you can see the light on there. So it doesn't really come across very well on the camera at night, but it does put out a decent amount of light, especially if you're on the side of the road and it's nighttime. This will definitely help you. All right, so let's talk about final thoughts. So far, this is a really nice unit. You can feel that it's built really well, but that's what I come to expect from DEWALT. It's not heavy. It runs all the 20 volt and the 60 volt flex volt batteries in it. It will not run a 12 volt. I do like the added light feature. If you keep this in your car, that's going to be a massive help. If you keep it in a shop, like I will, you may never use that feature unless you're doing, I don't know, inflating kids' baseballs at night or something. This hose is really nice and flexible. It's long enough. I haven't really seen a need for anything longer. It stores in itself. I love how everything stores on this machine. Super nice and compact. The buttons are super easy to touch and they're very responsive. I love that the screen is backlit. I love that it shows how much air is currently in the tire and the increments when it's filling up. Setting it couldn't be easier. Just spin the dial, push play, let it go, do whatever you need to do, and come back and it'll be finished. Auto off is fantastic. Comparing it to this thing, I'll never use this again. It did its job and it's decent at what it does, but this is just so far so much better. Of course, you are paying about 3 times the price as one of these, so you can buy 3 of these to this one. However, I see this one being the last one I'll probably ever buy unless this dies. Longevity is still something yet to be seen, as I have only had this in my shop for about a week. Comparing the time from the first video that I put out that you can check out on my YouTube from the Ryobi to this fills up about twice as fast as this one does. Again, the trigger, major downfall. This one is a push button and start. If you're already heavily in the DEWALT ecosystem with their batteries, this one's a no-brainer. If you are in Ryobi, this one will do you good. I think they have a comparative one. If you're into Ryobi, this one will do just fine. I think there is a similar one maybe to this one that does the auto features and buttons and such. So do I recommend this? Absolutely. I purchased this with my own Amazon money on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can get it if you are interested. I would buy it. I'm not returning it. I'm going to keep this one. I am going to give away the Ryobi. It's not something I'm going to use again after having this one. So if you like this video, leave a thumbs up and leave me a comment. What do you think? Do you think the Ryobi is worth the savings, or do you think the DEWALT is the way to go? I personally think the DEWALT is the way to go. Hit that subscribe button if I helped you out. Grab the bell so you're notified when I put out more videos. And happy inflating!